Hello, beautiful. I'm your host, Nicole Goff. Welcome to the Ecstatic Life Podcast, the podcast for women who want it all. Health, wealth, freedom, authenticity, love, beauty, all of the hidden gems just waiting to be uncovered. This is the podcast for women who are ready to discover their inner creatrix, to discover their inner manifester, and who want to find the ecstatic in every day. Hello and welcome back to a very special mini episode of the Ecstatic Life Podcast. I am here with the most special guest, my 11-year-old daughter, Kora McKinzie. And Kora is a baker, a young entrepreneur, business owner of Kora's Cookies. She's an artist. She is a musician. She is a green belt in karate. She is a smart, beautiful, talented girl, and I am so proud of her. And so on this, the day before Christmas, it is Christmas Eve right now, we are going to record this special in-between seasons interview. I would like to put this out there as inspiration for other girls. So, welcome, Kora.
Hi.
Do you want to introduce yourself and tell everybody a little bit about you?
My name's Kora. I love to bake, and I'm really happy about my business. And just last night, I did a cookie order for Carrie. I love my pets, and
one of them is climbing up your leg right now. That cookie order you did. Come here, kitten. You want to be a part of the podcast too? Tony the tiger. So that cookie order you did, that wasn't just any cookie order, right? It was
a paleo cookie order with coconut sugar and coconut flour and almond flour, and it had this paleo chocolate bar that we cut up into the cookies because we couldn't find any paleo chocolate chips. And then I also made cookies as a present to my family.
Yeah, paleo. So that's been an adventure trying to learn alternative flours. I try not to have regular flour and sugar. So I've been doing experiments with paleo or alternative gluten-free baking for a while. And it is a whole thing as you're learning, right? It is not easy. It is not easy to do baked goods without flour or milk or, all of these things that really are the staples of baking: flour, sugar, and milk.
I personally like regular chocolate chip cookies better.
Oh, yeah, but there are a lot of people now that are having intolerances to those kinds of things. Like me, I remember I used to have the itchy stuff all over my arms. I'd have those sores all over my arms when I would eat flour and sugar. There are a lot of people that just don't tolerate it. So you're lucky you don't have any allergies, huh? But is it luck? Is it luck, or is it because you are living a natural, healthy lifestyle? Well, wow. I kind of tend to think that you're probably more resilient from growing up in the woods, in the dirt. Yeah, so Kora, you are unschooled. We don't just homeschool, right? We unschool. We do very free, relaxed type of homeschooling. Mm-hmm. Yeah, what do you think about that?
Well, I like that you don't have to go to school every single day. It's just twice a week. And that you get to have lots of free time to play and still get to learn a lot of stuff that you don't even learn in public school.
Yeah. So we do a homeschool co-op 2 days a week, and then you have a couple tutors that you're working with.
Stephanie Lee, I go to her house and do tutoring, and we do all kinds of stuff: math, grammar, art, and then we do some spiritual stuff. And then Danielle, I do online and relearn a lot of math and stuff.
Yeah. What do you think about the fact that you get to learn some spiritual stuff in your curriculum?
I like it. What I've been learning with Stephanie is you can use your energy to move stuff. So we set up some aluminum foil in a triangle shape, and then you use your energy to move it across the table. And how you know it's not just wind is because you can step away and do it. Like, you can be a few feet away from it and it still moves.
Mm-hmm. Well, your Nana, she does the Qigong, and that's a lot of what that's about too. And she used to teach in our homeschool co-op. She used to teach the Qigong with the whole class when she was living here.
She moved to North Carolina.
Yeah, I'm sure you've heard the story, but she was able to, while at a Qigong retreat, using her Qi, bend a metal spoon into like a U shape. I think she still has the spoon. You've heard that story, right?
I told Stephanie about it.
Yeah.
So crazy. And then we also are learning some dance with Stephanie, too.
Yeah. Yep.
Get up there.
Well, so, yeah, we're pretty powerful, right? Like, we're powerful beings. We're not... I think most people think we're just like this, like, flesh and blood, right? But I think maybe you have a better understanding.
It can also be like a magnet. Like, with the aluminum foil, you go all around the aluminum foil, and then you pull your hand away, and it follows your hand.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, there's magic in the world. Real magic, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we are, speaking of magic, it's the night before Christmas. What do you think about the magic of Christmas?
It's really fun. And
do you still believe in Santa? What do you think about the magic of Christmas? What do you think about those traditions?
They're really fun, and I love the traditions.
Put you on the spot with that one, huh? What about the elf on the shelf?
He doesn't hide very good. Today he hid in the fridge.
He was hiding with some $1 bills, his cold hard cash. That's clever.
I watched this on a video on Facebook, and their elf was in the... No, it wasn't an elf. It was a present. It was money. It was a $100 bill in a thing of water in a freezer, and it froze. And then there was a note on it saying, "Don't you love your cold hard cash?" Because it was literally ice hard, because he was in ice mode.
Wow.
You gotta wait a little while on that.
Yeah, you gotta wait for that $100. Well, Buddy the Elf left you $1. Are you looking forward to when you get a little bit older and you get to help make the magic of Christmas? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. You're gonna do a better job at hiding the elf?
Yes.
Sometimes mommies are tired. It's a lot of work making the magic of Christmas. Sometimes at, 4 o'clock in the morning when we wake up to go pee and we have to move the elf, we're tired, not thinking very good. So what's it like to be a girl, preteen girl, growing up in...
I'm a pre-tween.
A tween, yeah. Growing up in, it's almost 2026. We're at the end of 2025, but in this era, what's it like?
Brain rot's annoying.
Brain rot, yeah. So that's one thing, since you're unschooled, you get, I would say, probably less access to that kind of media than most kids, right? Like, compared to, like, some of the kids that are public schooled, but...
Or the people in homeschool group that used to be public schooled.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And they have a little more access to that kind of, like, media and stuff. So what do you think about that?
It's really annoying. My little 2-year-old brother started saying 6, 7, 6, 7. It's so annoying. Like, sometimes mom jokes about it, and then he just starts doing it over and over again.
So how would you define brain rot?
It doesn't mean anything, but it gets addictive to say.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like when you eat Doritos, it gets more addictive, and so it doesn't. Just to say it.
It's like the Doritos of what, social media, or is it? I guess it's not just media anymore. It infects like just people, just society. It's like the Doritos of society, the Doritos of culture. It's got too much MSG. That's a good way to put it. I like that. Well, do you think it's easier now than it was at other times for girls? Or do you think it's harder?
Well, I wasn't there the other times.
That's true. But from what you hear...
I'm a Gen Alpha.
From what you hear from your 19-year-old sister, or like if you hear me and my friends, or like Nana.
You're always saying you were bad when you were little. Like you snuck out of the house.
Way to call me out on the podcast.
with Chris.
Yeah, with my best friend.
And Ari also snuck out, but I was alive then.
Yeah.
And the public school was the same. Ari hated public school. I haven't hit puberty yet, so I don't know if it's any different with that, but
Things can change a little bit. A lot of times.
didn't have brain rot back then.
Yeah, we had our own forms of brain rot, but it wasn't social media when I was a kid. That wasn't a thing. There was no such thing as the internet was like in its infancy. Computers and stuff weren't really, I don't think we had our first computer until I was a teenager. So it wasn't really that same, we got 3 channels on our TV and they had commercials. Half the time it was commercials. So,
And nowadays you can get a 60-inch TV that
wow,
does whatever you want.
that's small now. We were in Costco yesterday and there was a 98-inch TV on the wall. And I was like, holy cow. That'd be as big as my office wall.
No, it's bigger than that. That's smaller than 90 inches.
Yeah. No, we definitely didn't. We definitely didn't grow up with access to so much media. That's why we had to do things like sneak out and go out in the woods and go skinny dipping in the springs because we didn't have any TV or phones.
I also think it would be better to have a little less screen because people get really addicted.
Yeah.
Ryan, when she went on a sleepover the other day, stayed up until 4 o'clock in the morning watching stuff.
Oh, that's what they were doing?
They did a tiny bit of other stuff, but they were mostly just watching videos.
Yeah. Yeah, it is addictive. It's kind of like Doritos and brain rot. Yeah. Well, so tell me a little bit about your business. You're a very young entrepreneur, and you have been working on selling cookies for how long now?
Well, with that picture you took of me, that one art walk, I was probably 9, I think. I think I was probably 9 in that picture, maybe 8, 8.5.
That was one of the first times you went and sold cookies. Yeah, you were probably 9. Yeah.
And now I'm 11. And I just made it an actual business because I made business cards and a Facebook page. You can find me on Facebook, Kora's Cookies with a K. And, Kora with a K too. And
Link in show notes.
And I post on there, not every day, but when I bake or have a cookie order, I post that. My newest one I posted last night. And I mostly post stuff that I make or when I get a cookie order. And I usually get orders in person, but I've had a few orders that I've gotten from a post I made that I'm taking Christmas cookies.
Yeah, and so you just started that Facebook page, which I am managing for anybody out there listening. She does not have unfettered access to social media yet.
I have it on mom's account.
On my phone. But someday, I don't know, probably when you're 14 or 15, you'll be able to do your own. I'm not sure. They probably have age limits. I hope they have age limits on Facebook.
They don't on TikTok.
Yeah, that's a whole other conversation.
Mom tried TikTok and she didn't like it.
Yeah, so you do gluten-free baking, you do the paleo baking, traditional baking. You don't just do cookies either. You do cakes and cupcakes.
I've done brownies before. I've even done Rice Krispie treats.
Yeah. And so it started out, you would take baskets of your baked goods and you would go around at the art walks or the festivals and you would just sell them for $1 each out of the basket. But now you're actually taking full orders. Yeah, and so you made some pretty good money. How does that feel?
Good.
What do you do with your money?
Well, this past month, I've spent a lot of it on presents.
Yeah.
And then I use it to buy ingredients and
your business cards.
I had to pay for my business cards, and I made them on Canva.
Yeah, and things like packaging. Yeah, so you're learning about all that back end stuff. Yeah. But you're also saving some. So we've been learning about interest, right? Yeah.
Last month, I made $4 off of interest.
Yeah.
Because I had $200 and something in savings.
Yep. Yep.
For some reason, I have a whole bunch of money in my little purse instead of in the saving. Because when I make the money, I put it in my little purse and I forget to put it back in the jar. So I've got like $100 in my purse.
You ought to get it in that jar so it can earn some interest. It's the end of the month.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's really fun to bake, so it's not like a job I don't like. I always love to bake, like desserts and stuff, and eat them.
Yeah. You've had a sweet tooth since you were like 18 months old and had your first candy cane.
Mom gave me a giant candy cane for the first time, and that was all I wanted to think about that Christmas.
Yeah.
That's when my sweet tooth started.
That was probably like nine Christmases ago when your sweet tooth was born. What does that sweet tooth do?
Get my grown-up teeth.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of addictive.
It's all from my dad, though. He's got bad teeth, and I got it from genetic genes.
Yeah.
And Mom bought all this expensive stuff to help my teeth, and none of it worked.
Well, so speaking of genetics and genes versus what we do, right? So we've been talking recently about manifestation. I've been doing this manifestation course with Jocelyn Dawn, and we're writing our life script, and we've been talking about manifesting. So what do you think you're capable of?
Well, like, what do you mean?
Well, look at all the things you've done so far. Your life is only, let's say 15%, 10% in, right? Hopefully you live to be more than 100, right? You take good care of yourself, you can live to be more than 100. So you haven't gotten, you've gotten, let's say 10% of your life. So if you've done this much in 10%, and gosh, you spent like half of that as like a baby and a toddler. And you can't really do a whole lot when you're a baby and a toddler, right? So you barely spent any percent of your life where you were really able to like make an impact on the world, right? To really like do stuff, to exact your will on things. So what do you think you'll be able to do if you put your mind to it for the rest of your life?
When I get older, I really want to have a bakery.
Yeah.
And I want my business to be successful. And I also want to have a lot of money so I can pay for the ingredients and be able to have a steady future.
Will you have employees? Will you pay other people too? Supporting other families or other local people? Yeah, that's another good thing about having money is then you can give back to your community by employing other people.
Mm-hmm. And I want to live either somewhere a little cooler than Florida or just stay in Florida. I don't want to go somewhere hotter. But that's where Mom wants to go. She wants to go somewhere tropical. She wants to go like El Salvador or like another tropical place. I'd rather get a little cooler.
Well, we'll visit with you next time, and then you can see for yourself. Central America is pretty cool. Not in the heat sense, not temperature-wise, but it's different than Florida there because it doesn't go up and down.
It's hard. It's also harder to move somewhere out of the state because they speak different languages.
Yeah, but you're already learning Spanish, so you're good.
Yeah, but you said you learned more Spanish from me, and you said it was really hard because half the time you didn't know what anybody was saying.
Yeah, but when you try to learn a language when you're middle-aged like me, it's a lot harder. When you're young, because you've been learning Spanish for a few years now, so when you're young, you pick up on it a lot easier. Your brain is much more open to learning a new language.
Yo necesito agua.
Me too. So is there anything else that you want to tell my audience? Do you have any maybe inspiring words that you would like to share?
I'm also a good babysitter. I babysit for Mom. I babysit while nobody was in the house for my younger siblings.
You help this podcast run. Actually, if it weren't for you babysitting while I do my recordings, I would have a hard time because I would have to pay somebody else. And right now the podcast is not making any money to pay somebody else, right? So yeah, I would have to, so you work, I pay you, but it's a very reasonable amount of money.
I'm like other people.
Yeah. But as you get older, you'll be able to charge more. So yeah, a couple more years and you'll be able to have a whole babysitting business also. But yeah, you're a big asset because as we talk about a lot of times, the future of our businesses, of my business, of your dad's business, is our family's future, right? So you'll inherit our businesses, you'll inherit any of our wealth and our assets. And so the more you give to that, the more you participate and are a part of that, the more involved you are, the better, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Christmas is hard.
I know. Every year I'm like, why do we do this? We should when Ari said we should have a thriftmas next year and only buy used things. And I've had, times where I'm like, we should just go on a vacation and not do the whole gift exchange and all that. It's hard because, the tradition that we grew up with, that I grew up with, that, your dad grew up with, the grandmas, are really big on that tradition. And it's hard to break away from it, right? Even though if you can see where maybe some parts of it are a little stressful. So
but it's really fun. I love getting new stuff.
Yeah. And there's a give and take. I want to try to bring a little more of, we do the magic of Christmas in the traditional sense, but I've been wanting to bring a little more of some of the more like there were old pagan traditions that I think I've talked to you about, like solstice, where, this here is a tradition I want to start. We're going to start tonight is the first night, this 13 Sacred Nights Oracle, and this is a manifestation. It's mapping out your coming year, and it's really about like going inward and introspection, looking inside. And so I want to kind of bring some of that back to it. I feel like we could make some deeper traditions, now, especially that you're getting older, we could make some really like meaningful, special traditions that are just for our family.
But I also want to give and get gifts.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can still do that too. Yeah.
Because even though you have to spend a lot of money, it makes other people happy and yourself.
It's true. It does. It feels good to give. It feels good to think about other people and what they want and do something special for them. Yeah. Well, do you have any final words, any messages you would like to give to maybe a mom out there that is listening that has a daughter that's around your age, or maybe if they're sharing this podcast with their daughter, any messages for other girls and women out there?
Well, I really like that Mom let me have my own room and my own pet. Like, I've got 2 pets. I've got a hamster and a kitten, and I take care of both of them goodly, and I feed them every day and night. The hamster eats at dinner time, and the kitten eats at breakfast time.
Responsibility.
And both of them are nocturnal.
Responsibility. Yeah, so that came with your 11th birthday. Yeah, you're responsible enough to take care of them all by yourself. You change the litter box. You change out the hamster's cage. You feed them. You water them. You care for them. You make sure they're safe.
I don't water them.
What do you call it if it's not water them? Give them water. But yeah, you do it all, though. You took up responsibility for that. So that means a lot because...
And not all people are responsible enough.
Yeah, but...
And my sister really wants to be able to do that too, but she's still too young.
Yeah. So how do you become responsible? Maybe that's a good message.
You've got to prove that you're more responsible. You got to prove that you can keep your room clean, and that you can do chores, and that you can take care of the family pets. Like, I feed and water the family pets every day too.
Yeah.
Except for the chickens, right? Just the chickens.
What about inside? Like, how does that feel? How does it feel inside of you to be more responsible?
It feels good, but it's sometimes hard because the kitten attacks me and scratches me all night while I'm trying to sleep. And then the hamster spins in its wheels and makes a racket all night while I'm trying to sleep.
The double-edged sword. Feels good, but also the responsibility comes with some weight. Yeah. It's true. Being a mom is like my favorite job. It's like the best job in the world, but there's a lot of weight and responsibility that comes with that too, making sure that you guys are healthy and safe.
And even though you don't want to clean, it's good to because then you don't have cockroaches under your bed.
Yeah. That's why we don't eat in the upstairs, right?
Except for the kitten. The kitten eats in the upstairs.
Yeah, for now, until he's bigger. Yeah.
I don't know where the kitten went.
I'm sure he's fine.
And I like that Mom lets me have my own business because literally I can't get that many gifts for people because I don't have a lot of money. But now I've got enough money that I can get everybody a gift.
Yeah. Well, you're very generous. You've always been very good at making people gifts, even if you don't have money to buy them. Ever since you were little, you're very generous.
Yeah, because I usually just get a few bought gifts for people and then usually make the rest.
Mm-hmm.
But this year I was able to buy people gifts. I mean, I still made a few because people love when I make gifts, especially family.
Mm-hmm.
But the kids like the bought stuff better.
It's true. And you've got a lot of siblings and cousins.
One year, I even made my sister, because I didn't have enough money to buy a brand new toy, I made my sister a stuffed animal.
Oh,
I
yeah.
made her a unicorn with Fing in it.
Yep, you knitted it and stuffed it. Yeah. Well, that was really special, though. She loved that. Yeah. All right, babe. We got some Christmas cookies to make. So anything you want to sign off with?
Well, I hope you have a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Beautiful. All right. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.